Okay. Let me share my screen. Whoops, wrong screen. Maybe not. All right, we're gonna watch this actually like a 4-minute video, and then we'll do the slides, and then I have a quiz for us at the end.
Hi, I'm going to give you Gestalt in a nutshell. Firstly, Gestalt's about awareness. That means that we bring things from the past and from the future into the present. Because it's in the present that really feelings exist, that we feel the feelings. It's in the present that our body experience and sensations are occurring. It's in the present that we really experience aliveness. And it's in the present when we make choices, and choices are very important in Gestalt, increasing the sense of choicefulness. So Gestalt therapy brings all this into the present, and that allows us to do something different. And we use awareness to do that. The tool of awareness, a classic Gestalt question is, what are you aware of now? And that leads us very quickly and very deeply into the heart of a person's experience. Second aspect of Gestalt is dialogue. Dialogue, two-way, it's about you and me. It's not just me drilling down and asking you questions, me the therapist, you the client. It's not me the expert giving you advice or trying to fix you. Dialogue really is about an exchange between two people, and I'm learning in the process about myself and about you as much as you're learning. So there's a kind of humility involved with that. We call them in Gestalt the I-thou. It's a real meeting of persons, and that builds the relationship, and the relationship is the second area of Gestalt, which is understood to be very important, because it's the therapeutic relationship. Really, it doesn't matter whether it's Gestalt or other modalities. That is one of the main predictors of success and change. Third, the field, we say field theory. So we're interested in holism. Gestalt was originally holistic philosophy. It came out of a lot of interesting work in the early part of the 20th century. And basically, we're looking at not just the individual, we're looking at the context. We're trying to understand the person by understanding their culture, their family, the wider society, the forces that are influencing them. And that gives us a sense of the interconnectedness of things. And that's a profound way of understanding life, and it's a much deeper way of understanding people. So that balances with the individual focus of awareness, the interpersonal focus of dialogue, and the interconnected focus of the field. Finally, we have experiment. So in Gestalt, we do the Gestalt experiment, which is one of the things Gestalt is famous for. This can be colorful, it can be enjoyable, it can be fun. It can also be very challenging. The point of the experiment is to bring all the things that are difficult or challenging or we're stuck in, to bring them into the present and to work with them in relationship in a way which helps the person take the next step, so they actually in the therapy get the experience of change. That's a wrap for Gestalt in a nutshell. Hi.
Oops. All right, guys. I put some other, I found 2 other videos on Gestalt, and I put it in the end of the PowerPoint, and I'll upload the PowerPoint on the main group, so it'll be under the files. But I highly suggest, if you're just starting on make sure y'all mute your phones, please, so we don't disturb others. If you're just starting studying Gestalt, I highly suggest that you watch the videos that I'm posting. I spent a lot of time searching on YouTube, finding 2 really solid, like 20-minute videos that give you like a big umbrella view of the entire theory. You don't need to like stress yourself out on watching those videos over and over, but I would watch one of them one time, like a whole 20-minute video on Gestalt, and it can give you and help you retain the information if you understand the theory, like an umbrella view of the theory, if that makes sense. If you're just studying and remembering the keywords, that might work for some people, but I personally feel like you should watch the longer videos at the end of the slide in your own time, maybe in the drive to and from work. So the links will be in the PowerPoint, and again, I'll post the PowerPoint on the page. Let me share my screen. Again, one moment. Okay, guys, here we go. So we have Gestalt Therapy, developed by Fritz Perls, Laura Perls, and Paul Goodman. It's most famous with the Perls, though. I haven't heard of the test asking for specific names, but maybe it does. It would be with Fritz Perls. That's going to be the most popular, the most famous name. And let me actually pause before we get into the couple of slides here. Can everyone please put in the chat what some keywords that you already know about Gestalt? So if you're reading a question on the test, you would already know in your head that's Gestalt. What words would you see? Let's all be interactive and do this together and thanks guys, good, and put it in the chat. Good job, you guys. Empty chair, I statements, wholeness, yes, unfinished business. Y'all are good. Look at y'all. Cool. Good job, everyone. Give me one moment.
I had a quick question.
Sure.
I'm sorry if you already mentioned it, but will you be emailing this slide to us or posting it in the group?
Yes, ma'am. It actually already is posted in the group, but I added stuff to it. So I'm going to repost it today. Do y'all know how to access the files in the group? Everybody?
I don't.
So do you guys know how to access the events calendar?
I can check.
If y'all will remind me at the end of the Zoom, I can go over, I can share my screen and show you like the Facebook group and how to do it.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, there's a wealth of information in the files. Like I've done a bunch of PowerPoint presentations and I always post in there. So if you can't join, you can see them. So remind me at the end. All right, good job, everybody. You guys are on task today. All right, let me get my cursor here. Okay, can somebody read? Actually, did I skip one? No. Can somebody read the first slide here?
Oh, go ahead.
Core principles, holism, the mind, body, and emotions are interconnected. Individuals must be viewed as whole rather than separate parts. Present center awareness emphasizes living in the here and now, focus on present experiences rather than past events or future concerns. Personal responsibility. Clients are encouraged to take responsibility for their thoughts, feelings, and actions. This fosters self-awareness and personal growth. Awareness and self-regulation. Client learns to self-regulate and respond authentically to their needs and environment through increased awareness.
Awesome. Thank you, ma'am. Wendy, you want to read the next one? These are going to be the keywords, guys. I always highlight in pretty colors the words that really need to stand out in your mind. If you could read this one and the next one, Wendy, for me.
Keywords to watch for on the exam. Number 1, here and now. Focus on present thoughts, feelings, and experiences rather than the past or future. 2, unfinished business. Unresolved emotions or experiences that interfere with present functioning. 3, awareness. Develop an insight into one's behaviors, emotions, and physical sensations. And 4, figure ground. The process of focusing on a specific aspect of experience or figure while other aspects fade into the background or the ground.
I don't know why, guys, but this seems silly, but y'all know me that have studied with me before and know that my weird thing about letters. I remember if you see the figure ground, G in ground is G for Gestalt, excuse me. I don't know if that helps anybody. All right. And Wendy, if you could finish the rest of them, please.
Yes. Number 5, the empty chair technique, a role-playing exercise to address unresolved emotions or relationships. 6, contact, the interaction between an individual and their environment, essential for growth and change. 7, integration, bringing together fragmented parts of the self, thoughts, feelings, and actions into a cohesive whole. 8, responsibility, encouraging clients to take ownership of their feelings, actions, and choices. 9, paradoxical theory of change. Change occurs only when a person fully accepts themselves as they are, rather than trying to be something they are not. And 10, I statements, encouraging clients to take ownership of their experiences and emotions using I rather than you statements.
All right. I just remembered, you guys, when she was reading that the other theory that talks about I statements is CBT. What I meant by the test isn't going to confuse you is, let me reword what I said earlier, is it's going to ask you what theory includes I statements. It's not going to put CBT and Gestalt as an answer. Does that make sense, you guys? It'll have one or the other. I think it's most famously with Gestalt. Someone correct me if I'm wrong, but it is part of CBT as well. So, I just really feel like it goes with, it's more famous in Gestalt than CBT though, so. Okay, I'll read this one. Key techniques are experiential exercises, role-playing, guided fantasy, and dramatizing conflicts to bring awareness to internal processes. There's that word again, awareness, you guys. Empty chair technique, probably the most famous keyword in all of Gestalt is the empty chair. Clients speak to an empty chair as if it were a person or a part of themselves, facilitating dialogue between different aspects of the self. Body awareness, attention to physical sensations and body language to uncover emotional blockages. Unfinished business, possibly second or third most famous word with Gestalt is unfinished business, addressing unresolved issues from the past that affect present behavior. Contact and boundaries explores how individuals make contact with others and their environment, including the boundaries they set. Can someone read this slide?
I will. Therapist role to enhance self-awareness and personal responsibility to help individuals integrate fragmented aspects of themselves into a cohesive whole, to enable clients to live more fully in the present moment, making conscious choices.
Thank you. Goals of Gestalt therapy to enhance, here's the keywords, guys, for repetition: self-awareness, personal responsibility, to help individuals integrate fragmented aspects of themselves into a cohesive whole, to enable clients to live more fully in the present moment. Again, here and now and present moment are big with Gestalt, making conscious choices. And I put another little slide of all the keywords. Here and now, awareness, figure ground. There's that G for Gestalt and figure ground. Unfinished business, contact boundaries, polarities and empty chair, experiments. It is an experiential type of theory. Body awareness, Gestalt, exaggeration, responsibility, self-regulation or emotion regulation is another big one. Top dog, underdog. I haven't seen anyone mention that being seen on the test, but that is a Gestalt intervention or technique, excuse me. I don't know, guys. I'm really weird about the letters. I just remember the G and the dogs. 2 G's is Gestalt. Hot seat. That again kind of goes with the empty chair. And I statements. All right, I put the YouTube videos. I think the bottom one is the one I showed you guys today, but there's 3 others that I found that are really good. They're like 15 to 20 minutes each. I suggest y'all do that, on your drive or something, to really sink in the whole theory. And you're just going to hear repetition is key, you guys. Like, go over it 20 times and it'll be there, especially if you haven't been in school for a long time or don't remember this part of school, I guess. Okay, let me stop the screen share and let me find the quiz. Bear with me, guys. Let me find it. So what we're going to do when I pull up the quiz is we are going to, y'all can say it out loud. Y'all can say it in the chat, your answers. I'll just give everyone a couple minutes. Make sure we're all on the same page with the answers. And we'll do this together. I think in the quiz, if I'm not mistaken, I put other random questions about theories. It's not all on Gestalt, just to mix it up a little bit. So if y'all just started studying, don't be hard on yourself. Learn something new, right?
Wendy, I like your room. I like your
Thank you.
and your kitty cat's in the background. She's so cute.
Oh, that's a big dog.
That's a dog? Oh, thought it was a cat. Oh my, yeah, now I see. Beautiful.
I can't find you guys. I'm struggling over here. Trying to find how to share my screen again. It went away. Ah, give me a minute, guys. There it is. Okay. Okay, cool. Can everybody see that?
Yes.
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 Cool. This is just something that I made on ChatGPT and kind of edited it. Hopefully I edited it correctly. Sometimes you guys got to watch it when you make it with AI. It'll make mistakes sometimes. Okay. Question 1, here we go. Teamwork makes the dream work. Which of the following is a key concept of Adlerian therapy? A, unconscious drives and conflicts. B, striving for superiority and social interest. C, self-actualization and peak experiences. D, automatic thoughts and cognitive restructuring. Again, guys, if you're just starting studying, be easy on yourself. I just wanted to spice it up a little bit and include some different stuff today. Let me see if I can see what y'all are saying. Everyone's saying B. So can somebody tell me the keywords in the keywords that you saw right away that you were like, this is Adlerian?
Superiority.
Yes, good job, you guys. And the social, right? He's really big on your social interactions, your firstborn child, secondborn child. All right. What do you guys think unconscious drives and conflicts would be with?
That would be Freud. Right?
Yeah, that'd be psychoanalytic. Self-actualization quite possibly would be existential. We need more information though, honestly, because that could be a couple. All right, and D is probably CBT. What do we think? Cognitive restructuring is CBT, right? All right, number 2. In Carl Rogers' person-centered therapy, the term congruence refers to A, the therapist providing unconditional positive regard, the client resolving, B, the client resolving inner conflict, C, the therapist's genuineness and authenticity, and D, the client's ability to achieve self-actualization. Okay, everybody's saying C. Yeah, good job, you guys. Good job. All right, 3. A counselor using Gestalt Therapy asks the client to role play a conversation with their inner critic. This technique is known as A, behavioral rehearsal, B, empty chair technique, C, free association, or D, systematic desensitization. Good job, you guys. I actually wish that question would have included something about a chair. It's a little bit misleading, but you guys got it. Does anyone know who free association is with? Freud, yes. Freud and free association go together, you guys. What about systematic desensitization? Does anyone know that one? Who goes with that? Volpe, yeah, good job. Brisa, good job, girl. All right, good job moving along, you guys. 4. Which is the following is a primary goal in existential therapy? A, identifying and changing automatic thoughts. B, gaining insight into unconscious conflicts. C, finding meaning and purpose in life. D, modifying problematic behavior patterns. Yep, good job, you guys. I think of existential like a spiritual type of perspective, right? What do we think gaining insight? What do we think keyword unconscious goes with, you guys?
Freud.
Freud is unconscious. That would not be anybody else but Freud. Cool. 5. According to Eric, randomly there's a human growth and development question in here, guys. According to Eric Erickson, psychosocial theory, this is a bonus question, everybody. Which stage is characterized by the conflict of identity versus role confusion? A, early adulthood, B, adolescence, C, school age, or D, middle adulthood? What do y'all think? You guys are so smart. Yes, it is B, adolescence. This one's going to be a little tricky one right here, another bonus one. Question 6, Albert Bandura's concept of reciprocal determinism suggests. So remember, Albert Bandura was about, what did he talk about, you guys? What did he do? Yeah, and what was his theory though?
Social learning.
Yes, ma'am. So remember, keeping that in perspective when we're answering questions about him, right? Albert Bandura's concept of reciprocal, hopefully I'm saying that, determinism suggests A, behavior is determined solely by environmental stimuli. B, individuals can achieve self-actualization independently. C, behavior, personal factors, and the environment influence each other. D, cognitive restructuring is necessary for behavioral change. So you guys, I want you guys to take a moment to let's review this question again. First of all, everybody, good job. It is C. But if the question in itself, and I've already passed the test, it looks overwhelming. Like it really does, you guys. So I can see us are more prone to test anxiety. We're like, oh my God, these big words and it's but like break it down. What did Albert Bandura do? Like I said in the beginning, he's social learning. Okay, now let me answer this, right? So like break down what you know first. Boom, C, right? The environment. I think when we just look at the question, it can be like so anxiety provoking until we just like, wait, take a deep breath, right? What do I know about this guy? What do I know about homeboy Albert Bandura? Social learning. That makes it C, right? Also, another thing for new people that are new at studying, it's also good when you get overwhelmed by a question and you just don't know the answer, to take away 2 answers that you know that it definitely is not, right? So for me personally, I would have probably taken away D because we know that's CBT, right? Cognitive restructuring, and B because we know that is can achieve self-actualization independently. That's probably going to be more existential or something, not social learning. And then I would have looked at A and C, and A is too extreme. Albert Bandura did not know. I mean, when there's something that says solely, which is only, right? Behavior is determined only by environmental stimuli. That's a little too strict. Are y'all following my thought process?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So when you get overwhelmed, for me, like there are lots of moments that I got overwhelmed on the test. Just take a deep breath, remember what you know, right? Even write down keywords on the piece of paper to get your mind off the screen that's overwhelming. Okay, hold on, stop, breathe. What do I know? Write it down on the paper next to you, revisit the question, take a deep breath, right? Yeah, Wendy, that's good too. Keywords. All right. Question 7. In psychoanalytic therapy, the process of transferring feelings from a client's past relationships onto the therapist is called, this is 100% going to be on the test, you guys. 100% you need to know this. On every version of it. I guarantee you people have taken the test on here, they will tell you that it's on there. Yes. So we have A, countertransference, B, transference, C, projection, D, sublimation. It is B, transference. So that's where the let's say the therapist like starts the client maybe starts seeing the therapist and treating them like they're their mother. Maybe they remind them of their mother. So they even talk to them. Maybe if they have resentment towards their mother, they even start resenting the therapist because it's reminding them of their mother, something like that. Okay. Countertransference is when, so remember counter, how I remember it is the COUN. Counter is counselor. That's when the counselor, like I have a client that comes into my office that looks just like my ex-boyfriend that cheated on me. You guys have heard me talk about him. Is where I can't focus on actually helping this client because he reminds me so much of my ex-boyfriend that I can't like be therapeutic to him because I have like this maybe like anger or whatever it is that I feel about it, that I can't move that aside and actually help this client because that's clouding my vision, right? So we would transfer them out or do something like that. Okay, cool. 8, which of the following is a key tenet of reality therapy? A, emphasizing the past to resolve current conflicts. B, helping clients meet their basic needs through responsible behavior. C, focusing on achieving congruence and authenticity. D, exploring existential anxiety and death awareness. C, Wendy, is going to be person-centered for the congruence and authenticity. It's going to be, there's a couple of you saying C. C is going to be those keywords, congruence, that's the biggest one, and authenticity is going to be person-centered, you guys. The answer is going to be B, helping clients meet their basic needs through responsible behavior. Yeah, B. Remember, another word for reality therapy is choice theory. So reality therapy never goes into the past, you guys. I'll do another Zoom on reality therapy. It's very important. Reality and Gestalt are the biggest ones on the test. But just a little summary, reality, I think of it as you are living in reality. We're not going in the past. We're not going in the future. You're right here in the present moment. Like, what different choices can I make to change, that will change my behavior and outcomes that I'm needing to change in my life. It's the main keyword of reality is choices, responsibility, and basic needs. Yes, Grace? Or somebody was, is that you raising your hand? Or it's just a thumbs up? All right.
I did it thumbs up because at first I thought it was A. But with you breaking it down, I understand now how like reality is like the present, not going back in the past.
Yeah, that's how I remember it, and that's really been helpful to me. Also, little side note here while we're on reality therapy. Who is the theorist for reality therapy, guys? Yeah, good job, Risa. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. Yeah, so another fun way that I memorized it is glass. You look through the glass and what do you see? You see reality. I don't know. That helped me. What would be D, you guys? Which theory is exploring existential anxiety and death awareness?
Existentialism.
Yeah, another bonus on top of that, Wendy. Who is the theorist for existential? The main one, I guess.
I don't know. Give me multiple choice and I probably can figure it out.
Does anyone know?
I know there's some, but I don't know if he's like the main one. Is it like Royal May and Frankel? And I
Yep.
know I'm missing one more and I can't think of his name.
Let me give you a keyword, curative factors. Do you remember that? Anyways, I remember him for the curative. Irvin Yolom, Rollo May, and Viktor Frankl. Good job. That we just went off on a tangent, but that was great. Good job, everybody. Cool. All right. Number 9. In Bowen family systems theory, the concept of differentiation of self refers to. This is exactly what the test will look like, you guys. I don't know, this question just gave me goosebumps right now. Good job, AI, I guess. In Bowen family systems theory, the concept of differentiation of self refers to A, the ability to maintain emotional independence while staying connected to others. B, the degree to which individuals conform to societal expectations. C, the separation of conscious and unconscious thoughts. D, the process of triangulating family members. Good job, you guys. That's definitely an important, that term, differentiation of self. Okay. Question 10. Which counseling theory emphasizes...
Tessa, a couple
Sure.
of people, explain to them why it's not D, because you got a couple of Ds that...
The process of triangulating family members, guys, is, sorry, thank you, Wendy, for that, Can anyone actually tell me what triangulation means? Before I give an
Isn't
explanation?
it when like you bring someone in to basically try to uh pick your side or something of that sort? I don't know. I know it's when you're bringing someone else in and like putting all the problems on them, or I don't know, something of
You're
that
you're
sort.
you're you're there, you're there. Good job. Triangulation is it's an attempt to stabilize relationships, right? So when they're avoiding communicating or avoiding actually resolving it through conflict resolution, they bring a third person in, right? It creates a triangle with two people that are kind of going against the third person. And it causes more dysfunction, more distress. They are, yes, Wendy, they're trying to gain homeostasis, but they're doing it the wrong way. It can reduce immediate tension, but long term, it causes more problems. So an example is a child gets involved maybe in their parents' fights, right? They try to go in and act as the peacemaker, right? Stop, mom and dad, stop fighting. Try to make themselves part of it. This dynamic can place more stress on the child and prevent the parents from actually resolving their conflicts, which should be the issue, should be like between them two, not them two and the child. Does that make sense? Is everybody with me?
Yes.
Okay. So that would be triangulating by bringing someone else in. Yeah. There's obviously tons of examples, but it would specifically talk about the question, would say something about the third person or bringing a third person in or something like that. Differentiation of self. I feel like that's just a fancy way of saying healthy boundaries, right? Like I know who I am and I versus who Grace is. I just see Grace's name right there. I like chocolate ice cream. Grace likes vanilla. Like I know who I am. Like even when I'm with her in a room, I still know who I am as a person. Does that make sense? Some
Yes, it
people,
does.
cool. Some people and their families have these very, and this could be another question on the test, enmeshed boundaries where there isn't really a differentiation of self, right? They don't know where one person ends and the other one starts. We may have all experienced some sort of relationships like this in our life. They can become very dysfunctional. You lose yourself, right? All right. 10. Which counseling theory emphasizes the ABC model to address irrational beliefs? So keyword in that question is irrational beliefs. Which theory is irrational beliefs, everybody? Cool. Good job, everybody. It is, yes, it is A, rational emotive behavior therapy. I'll do another one on that. REBT, I will do another Zoom on that one as well. I have a good PowerPoint on that one that has been known to show up on the test. So rational emotive behavior therapy is irrational beliefs. Cognitive behavior therapy is going to be more thoughts. That's more aligned with a question that would say irrational thoughts or cognitive distortions or thinking errors. Those are CBT is more thoughts. Rational emotive behavior therapy is beliefs. Another fun fact about my letter thing, I remember REBT, the B, beliefs. I don't know why that helps, but I guess it could go for CBT.
Thank you.
Therapy.
I confuse those two. I don't confuse them, but I almost said B with like irrational beliefs. My mind like first goes to CBT and until I actually read it all.
Who's the theorist, you guys, for rational emotive behavior therapy? I remember it, the R-E, the E.
Albert Ellis.
Yeah, Ellis E, REBT. All right. Okay. The next ones are just regarding Gestalt. I think I did 5 more just on Gestalt since we went over that today. Let's see. Question 11. In Gestalt therapy, the term here and now refers to A, exploring unresolved conflicts from the past, B, focusing on current feelings, thoughts, and behaviors. C, developing future-oriented goals. D, using relaxation techniques to manage anxiety. Everybody, so if somebody put A, it would not be A, my dear, just because Gestalt is here and now, kind of like reality therapy. It's talking about right now, right here. A would be going into the past. So remember, the here and now is going to be everything that's happening in the present moment. So that is going to be B, focusing on current feelings, thoughts, and behaviors in the present moment. I suppose A would remind me of the unfinished business, but that's not what the question is asking, right, you guys? It's specifically saying here and now. Okay, here we go with unfinished business. The concept of unfinished business in Gestalt therapy refers to A, the client's incomplete tasks in life, B, unresolved feelings and experiences from the past that impact the present, C, the inability to plan for future success, D, avoiding confrontation in interpersonal relationships. Yep, good job, you guys. B, unresolved feelings or experiences from the past that impact the present. What do you guys think an example would that be? Would be, or what would that look like in a scenario in a counseling session? What unfinished business? Anyone?
Could it be something like maybe harboring resentment towards somebody and it's affecting your ability to, I don't know, maybe move on or build relationships?
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking, this is kind of personal, guys, but I was thinking for me, like when I got clean off drugs, like kind of like almost 8 years ago now, when you get sober, I had a bunch of stuff coming up like, oh my God, I did this to this person like 10 years ago and I could not move on. It was just on my conscience when I got sober. So I had to go like apologize to that person so that I could let it go. Does that make sense? I believe that's what they're talking about here, unfinished business. I think I was sitting in front of a therapist, like I need to apologize to this person, this person, this person, make amends so that I can move on. That's something that the past kept coming up until I dealt with it. It wasn't going to go away until I dealt with it. Does that make sense? You kind of set yourself free of those situations. So let me read this example too of unfinished business to maybe give you guys a little more clarity too. So a client may express unresolved anger toward a parent who is a critical or absent during their childhood. They might say, I feel like I never got a chance to tell my father how much his words hurt me when I was younger. This lingering hurt or anger can manifest as difficulty in forming trusting relationships, low self-esteem, reoccurring feelings of resentment. In the session, the therapist might use techniques as role-playing, empty chair technique. The client imagines their parent in the chair and expresses their unspoken feelings to work around resolution. The therapist encourages the client to stay with and explore their emotions, helping them identify how these feelings impact their current life. The goal is to help the client process and release these unresolved emotions so they can move forward with greater emotional clarity and freedom. How do we feel about it, guys? Unresolved, unfinished business? We good? Yeah? Okay. All right, 13. Gestalt therapists often use the paradoxical theory of change, which means A, change happens when clients stop trying to be something they are not. B, clients must experience intense emotions to achieve change. C, behavior must be modified through systematic desensitization. D, cognitive restructuring leads to behavioral change. So guys, keyword in this would be knowing, honestly, just knowing the meaning of paradoxical. Does anyone know what that is?
When
Doesn't it mean
you're exaggerating something, sorry, go ahead.
An exact definition, because I'd like to give you an exact definition, is the term paradoxical refers to something that appears contradictory or counterintuitive, but may actually hold truth or lead to a meaningful outcome upon a deeper exploration. In counseling and therapy, the concept of paradox often involves using unexpected or seemingly contradictory strategies to achieve a desired result. So let's see. General meaning, a paradox is a statement or situation that seems to contradict itself, but reveals a deeper truth. Example is less is more. The more you try to relax, the harder it becomes. Yeah, right. Ms. Alaska, that's a good point. Yeah, Amy, that's good too. So it's the opposite of what you expect. Yeah. So really, if you read the questions, which one is it? When you stop trying to be something you're not, right? Do the opposite of what you're doing. I don't know. I feel like I'm not good at explaining what it means, but anyone else have any thoughts on that? That word does come up in other theories as well, so it's important to understand what that means. There is a theory, it's slipping me right now, where it is exaggerating something. I want to say it's something in existential, but anyways, encouraging clients to face or exaggerate their fears to reduce anxiety. I think somebody said that a minute ago. So if I have a problem giving speeches in front of a large crowd, right? The therapist is going to be like, or I get nervous, or I get clammy, or I get anxious. The therapist is going to be like, okay, stand up on the side of the room and act nervous as you can giving in the speech. Act nervous, do everything you do when you're at your peak nervousness right here in this room. So does that make sense to you guys? They can exaggerate the symptoms and see how, I don't want to use the word silly, but see how, what's the word I'm looking for? Exaggerate the symptoms so they can, I don't know, someone help me. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
A paradoxal thing.
Yeah.
Or could it also be exaggerating the circumstance, like standing up on the side of the room and giving a speech to a crowd of people while you're standing there naked? The worst, I mean, you're not naked, but just imagining that the worst possible scenario to make it where, I mean, it's kind of nonsense. You're probably not going to be doing a speech naked, but the circumstance of it, if you exaggerate that to the point where it's your worst possible fear, it's so
Yeah.
exaggerated that the worst thing that could happen, you're actually doing it. And then maybe then it makes it not so bad.
Exactly. Brisa is coming through clutch today. I really like her example. It was easier than mine. I've heard an example like the client is trying to stop smoking in the session. The therapist tells her to smoke 10 packs a day. I like that. So it seems like it's the opposite of what they should be doing, but it's productive.
It's
That's a
called
very
a paradox, isn't it?
That's a paradox. Exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right. We're almost done, guys.
Yes,
Two more.
yeah.
14, in Gestalt therapy, the Gestalt therapy technique where a client exaggerates a specific movement or behavior to increase self-awareness is called A, body awareness, B, rehearsal exercise, C, amplification, D, acting as if. We actually didn't go over this, you guys, so give it your best shot. Unless you, some of you, looks like you guys already know it though. It is C, you guys. I did not put that in the slide because I don't think it's of huge importance, but some of you are good at your Gestalt. Does anyone know anything else about amplification? And Wendy, I see you put A. I think A actually is correct, but C is more correct, if that makes sense. Let me see if I can find some good examples so we can understand it. Does anyone know anything else about amplification? No. Well, y'all knew the answer for not knowing. So amplification in Gestalt therapy involves intensifying or exaggerating a client's physical movements, expressions, or feelings to increase their awareness of underlying emotions or issues. I probably don't think that's going to be on the test, but you never know, I guess. All right, question 15. In Gestalt therapy, a counselor encourages a client to use I statements to A, shift responsibility for feelings and actions onto others, B, take ownership of their experiences and emotions, C, develop cognitive flexibility, or D, clarify distorted thoughts. Good job. Everyone is saying B. That is 100% correct. All right, you guys. Does anyone have any final thoughts on Gestalt or anything we can think of? No. I'm going to do another little short Zoom on Monday. It's going to be early in the morning on defense mechanisms. Those are really important, you guys. There's like 10 or 12 of them, and they show up on every version of the exam from my experience. Oh, you're welcome, everybody. Also want to remind everyone, if you have questions, ask them now. Oh, you're welcome. If you have questions, ask me now. Let me stop the recording.